Welcome to History Undercover. In a world dominated by giants, where data is power and privacy often sacrificed, one man set out to change everything. Gabriel Weinberg wasn't born with a silver spoon. He wasn't part of the elite tech circles. But he had a vision, a search engine that didn't spy on its users, that put privacy above profits. This is the story of DuckDuckGo, the David who dared challenge the Google Goliath. It's a story of grit, innovation, setbacks, and survival in the brutal tech wilderness. This is the story of the tech prodigy who took on Google, and the battle that's still far from over. Did he lose everything, or did he carve out a new path in a seemingly impossible battle? Join us now as we uncover the journey of Gabriel Weinberg and DuckDuckGo, a story of rebellion in the digital age. Gabriel Weinberg was born in 1979, raised in a modest suburb outside of Atlanta, Georgia. From a young age, Gabriel wasn't fascinated with sports or cartoons. He was obsessed with puzzles, logic, and machines. At just 14, while most kids were figuring out school dances, Gabriel was figuring out how to code. The internet was still a mystery back then. A noisy modem, a blinking cursor, and boundless possibility. Gabriel dove into it headfirst. By high school, he had already developed basic software tools, making money from small coding gigs. It wasn't about the cash. It was about the challenge. For most, it was intimidating. For him, it was home. He studied physics and technology policy, an unusual blend. But even then, he understood, tech and ethics must go hand in hand. In the late nights of MIT's computer labs, Gabriel started asking a question that would define his future. What if search engines didn't need to track us to work? Google had just launched. The search algorithm was brilliant, fast, efficient, revolutionary. But there was a catch. Every click, every query, every user was being tracked. Gabriel saw the writing on the wall early. Big data was coming, and privacy was the price. By 2006, after a brief stint founding a successful social network called Names Database, which he sold for $10 million, Gabriel had financial freedom. But he didn't want yachts or fame. He wanted to fix search. The idea was simple but radical. Create a search engine that didn't track anyone. He called it DuckDuckGo. A playful name, a deadly serious mission. One man, one laptop, and one idea to take on the most powerful internet company on Earth and do it with respect for users. In 2008, DuckDuckGo quietly launched. It didn't make headlines. No investors, no employees, just Gabriel. He did the coding, the marketing, the server management. It was war against the odds. Most people dismissed it. How could a solo founder beat Google? But Gabriel didn't need to beat Google. He just needed to be better where it mattered: privacy. As the 2010s dawned, the world changed. Edward Snowden, Cambridge Analytica, Facebook scandals. Suddenly, privacy wasn't just idealism. It was urgent. In the early days, DuckDuckGo was the odd one out, the browser nobody asked for, the search engine nobody thought would matter. No investors, no PR team, no viral moment. Just one man coding away in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, while Google handled over 1 billion searches a day. Growth was glacial. Gabriel's project was buried under an avalanche of Google results. But what DuckDuckGo lacked in hype, it made up for in principle. Every other search engine tracked users. DuckDuckGo didn't. Every other company hoarded data. DuckDuckGo deleted it. In 2009, DuckDuckGo introduced its radical privacy policy. No tracking, no user profile, no stored IP addresses. Period. That stance, once mocked, suddenly became its weapon. But this was still David versus Goliath. Google had thousands of engineers. Gabriel had him. So he focused on community. He opened the codebase, let users suggest features, rewarded bug reports. DuckDuckGo was more than a product. It was becoming a movement. I didn't trust Google anymore. I searched for medical symptoms one day, and then ads followed me for weeks. DuckDuckGo felt like a breath of fresh air. Then, June 2013, a bombshell shook the world. Edward Snowden revealed massive NSA surveillance programs. The internet was watching us. Trust in big tech plummeted, and in the chaos, DuckDuckGo exploded. DuckDuckGo jumped from 1.5 million searches a day to over 5 million in months. Gabriel wasn't a fringe developer anymore. He was the face of the privacy-first internet. With growth came pressure. Infrastructure had to scale. Features needed polish. But the mission stayed the same. Gabriel raised $3 million in funding from Union Square Ventures, but refused to sell out.
No tracking.
No creepy ads.
No compromise.
The challenge wasn't just technical, it was ideological. Google offered convenience at the cost of privacy. DuckDuckGo offered privacy without compromise, but would people care enough to switch? I tried it, but Google still gave better results. The name's weird. Is it legit? DuckDuckGo had grown, but compared to Google, it was still a minnow in an ocean ruled by sharks. To truly compete, Gabriel needed to evolve the product and win back users not just with values, but with performance. The road ahead wasn't just uphill, it was vertical. Challenges and growth, the search engine that refused to spy. By 2015, DuckDuckGo had proven it wasn't a joke. It had a team, it had funding, it had momentum, but the bigger it grew, the harder the pushback came. To understand DuckDuckGo's challenge, you need to understand the enemy. Google isn't just a search engine, it's an empire. A trillion-dollar juggernaut with access to your calendar, email, GPS, smart home, browser, phone, and every query you've ever typed. When you go to Google for answers, you're not the customer. You're the product. Your data feeds their profits. Gabriel knew he couldn't out-Google Google, but he didn't have to. He focused on speed, accuracy, and innovation. DuckDuckGo's Bangs feature let users jump directly to thousands of sites.
No tracking.
No ads. The privacy movement had legs, but not enough muscle. For every new user, 10 were pulled back into Google by habit, convenience, or simply inertia. Gabriel pushed harder. He knew the product had to match the principle. The tech battlefield wasn't fair. DuckDuckGo wasn't just fighting for users. It was fighting for visibility. Google paid Apple an estimated $15 billion to remain the iPhone's default search engine. Microsoft made it difficult to change default search on Windows. Android? Forget it. DuckDuckGo wasn't being outcompeted. It was being buried. Weinberg didn't stay quiet. He joined antitrust hearings, filed complaints, met with regulators. But it was like yelling into the wind. Big tech moved faster than Congress. Even as it fought external giants, DuckDuckGo had its own problems. Mobile optimization, localization, search result quality, perception of inferiority. Every small bug, every delay, cost users. Then came 2020. The pandemic pushed people online, and online privacy came under fire. DuckDuckGo's moment had arrived. For the first time, it passed 100 million searches in a single day, a staggering achievement. But behind the scenes, it wasn't enough. Revenue was growing, but not fast enough. Google still dominated browsers, phones, and default settings. Investors wanted scale. Users wanted perfection. The team faced burnout. In 2022, another blow, DuckDuckGo was caught allowing some Microsoft trackers in its browser, not on search, but in ads. The internet erupted. Critics cried hypocrisy. Gabriel responded quickly, clarified, patched, apologized, but the damage to trust lingered. He had spent over a decade building the impossible, a search engine that respected users. But even after 15 years, DuckDuckGo was still a fraction of the empire it dared to defy. Privacy battle and market impact, the legacy of a lone challenger. By the mid-2020s, privacy was no longer a niche concern. It was a global movement. Regulations like the GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California were shifting the digital playing field. But the rules weren't leading the charge. People were. And behind millions of those people was DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo was never the biggest, but it became something far rarer, a symbol. In a world where most tech sold out users, DuckDuckGo stood for choice. A quiet browser icon, a silent refusal to be watched. We never set out to beat Google. That was never realistic. We just wanted to give people a real choice. And choice mattered, because with every person who switched, even for a day, the balance of power shifted, however slightly. Big tech noticed. They never credited DuckDuckGo by name, but slowly, subtly, they started mimicking it. Apple began touting privacy. Firefox doubled down on anti-tracking. Google offered token privacy dashboards to deflect criticism. The battlefield was shifting not through conquest, but pressure. But symbols don't pay server bills. DuckDuckGo was still tiny, still buried in default settings. Despite heroic efforts, their search share plateaued. Years of work, billions of searches. Still, to most of the world, DuckDuckGo was invisible. But to measure impact only by market share misses the point. Gabriel Weinberg built something no other founder did. Product with spine, with values, with lasting influence. He didn't just create a search engine. He inspired a movement. Gabriel proved something the world needed to see, that you can build ethical technology. You might not win the war, but you'll change how it's fought. Today, DuckDuckGo continues. It's not Google. It never will be. But it is a choice, a whisper against the digital roar, a reminder that there are still people out there building for principle, not profit. In the end, Gabriel Weinberg didn't lose everything. He lost the crown, but he kept his soul. In a world where every click is watched, every choice is recorded, your silence is your surrender. But there is always another path. Quiet, principled, inconvenient, but yours. If the story moved you, share it. Not for views, but for values. Subscribe to History Undercover, where we unearth the rebels, the misfits, the forgotten ones, who dared to push against the tide. The next story we tell might just change the way you see the world.